Migrants waiting to cross the southern border reportedly say they want President Biden to get reelected in November because they fear that President Trump will not let them into the country. The Wall Street Journal writing why immigration is the #1 issue for voters. They say they worry that the migrant influx is affecting other aspects of life, from crime and fentanyl to national security and government spending, as Washington has been unable to resolve the problem. I spoke with Ohio Senator J.D. Vance yesterday on Sunday Morning Futures about the March jobs report, which looked like a blockbuster number. And actually, when you look into it, take a look at how many new jobs are going to foreign-born workers. Here's J.D. Vance.
If you look not just over the last year, Maria, but over the last 3 or 4 years, much of the job growth from the Biden administration has gone to the foreign-born. Many of those, of course, are illegal aliens. If you contrast that with the Trump economy, Maria, which was about productivity enhancements, higher wages for American workers, more manufacturing, and ultimately better, good-paying jobs for American workers, with the Biden economy, where so much of the economic growth has gone to the foreign-born, has gone to illegal immigrants, while American workers struggle to feed their families and struggle to buy homes, struggle to actually live the American dream.
Liz Peek, this is such an incredibly important point. You know, on Friday, we're waiting for the jobs numbers. We get the jobs numbers. We see a market reaction. Everybody's talking about it. The White House comes out. They're celebrating. Oh, look at job growth. It's doing great. 303,000 jobs for the month of March. And then we start looking into the report. We start looking in the last 3 years, and we realize much of the jobs are going to foreign-born or illegals.
Yeah, and by the way, that reality is compounded by the fact that so many of the jobs are part-time jobs, Marie. I think
that's great.
Employers are hiring these people, many of whom are here in the country illegally. They're hiring them for part-time work because they don't want to get entangled in all the benefits and all the long-term commitments that you normally make to workers. So this is disadvantaging people who are just starting out in our country, people at the low end of the income spectrum. We haven't really heard much about this from the administration because it is really an indictment of their immigration policy. But by the way, I would also just remind everybody, it is not just economics. It is also security. When Biden sees his ratings among Hispanic Americans going down, I can tell you from having talked to a dozen Hispanics that they are really angry that a lot of gangs and other unsavory types are landing in their neighborhoods. They're not landing in my neighborhoods or yours, but they are coming into the Hispanic neighborhoods around New York. And by the way, every city now is a border city because we've had all these people flown across the country. So Hispanics don't like that. These people are bringing crime and drugs and things that are really making their lives difficult. It's amazing to me that the White House doesn't get this.
It's unbelievable. And they just ignore the fact that all these jobs are going to foreigners, Michael. They came out on Friday celebrating the jobs numbers. And by the way, I'm really glad you mentioned the gangs, Liz, because there are very dangerous gangs now in this country as a result of the open border. Just last week, I saw that one of the people who were part of that squatting situation that we were talking about, they squatted and tried to take over a person's home in New York. He was part of the Venezuelan gang, Train Alagua, or whatever it's called, that dangerous gang that we keep talking about, Mike.
Well, Maria, this is just unbelievable. Okay, we're coming up on the 11th anniversary of Trump coming down the elevator. What was his #1 issue then? And it's the #1 issue now, illegal immigration. And it goes so much more beyond the knock-on effects of what illegal immigration does to our society. It's the fact that we are a nation of rule followers. Okay, we follow the law, we follow the rules. Okay, and the reason why Hispanics hate illegal immigration so much is because the bulk of them came here by following the laws, following the rules. My wife is a legal immigrant. It cost us a ton of money, and it took years for it to work out. Okay, it's the same thing as somebody cutting the line, somebody getting an unfair advantage here, an unfair advantage here. Okay, these people are lawbreakers and rule breakers, and we as an American society hate it. Okay, but it's no secret what this administration wants to do. They want cheap labor, okay, and they want new voters. And so why are there all these sanctuary cities? So they get a greater population in the next census, more congressional seats, more electoral college votes, and more federal funding for their overall district. So look, it is unbelievable what you see here in New York City. I think it's 10 cents of every single dollar that comes into the city's tax coffers is going to illegal immigrants. While we are creating a new $1 trillion of debt every 100 days, we are beyond a banana republic now.
It's unbelievable, really. It's just stunning.